Hi there, welcome to Carcassonne with Utze. Do you like endgame puzzles? I hope so, because I do, and this one here in the game of Nazario77 versus Mars15 is quite a sweet one. Let's assess the situation. There is a huge field, but it's a tight field because blue has 3 meeples as well as yellow. And given Mars has just drawn the last curve, yellow's meeple over here won't get into this field and it won't get united with blue's field up top. Unless blue were to do this, and blue won't. This leaves us with all the features already present and the scoreboard difference of 3 points in Nazario's favor. Additionally, he has 8 points for Monastery. This sums up to 11. Mars has 2 fields up top, one for 6 points on the right and another one for 9 points. So 15 points total, which gives him a 4-point edge at the moment. If yellow were to successfully attack this field up top, they'd be ahead by 5 points. So blue just has to score these 5 points to tie the game and win because of the second player rule. In the actual game, Mars was in time trouble and had only roughly 40 seconds to figure out his move and opted to bend the curve to the left and meeple the road, hoping to either get the crossroad himself or yellow to get the crossroad to close his road and then be able to score at least the 1 point he would have needed to tie the game on his last move. But sadly for Mars, yellow didn't get the crossroad on their next move, but on their last move. So Mars couldn't score any more points and lost by 1 in the end. So let's tabulate his chosen move and try to find a better one. So curve to the left, taking 3-point road, auto win if blue gets crossroad, and if yellow were to get the crossroad next turn, blue could meeple anything on their last turn to win the game by at least a tie. But if blue weren't able to use another meeple on their last turn, because the rows wouldn't have been closed by yellow, they'd lose. So that's case 2 and case 6, where yellow gets the crossroad on the last turn of the game. So how about bending the curve to the right, meepling the road, and then hoping to improve your odds by getting the straight, which would lead to a 5-point road once yellow connects. Same procedure with the crossroads, of course. And then if yellow were to get the crossroad and you'd get straight, you'd win as well. But in cases where you'd get the Dorito, yellow would win. And in the 6th case where yellow would get the Dorito first, they could just use it to block the road expansion square and would then win on their last turn. So this is the worst choice actually. What about trying to unite your fields like this and then hoping to get a straight? If yellow were to be successful with their attack, they'd lose 1 versus 2 on the united field and you'd win. Crossroads are default wins, and if you'd get straight, you'd win as well. This leaves us with both cases where we'd get a Dorito, and a Dorito would easily net us these 7 points for the ruin. 7 points because the last field Dorito features a shield in this case, which would result in blue wins as well. So this one would have been a guaranteed win for blue. So is there anything else to consider? There's this option of white counterintuitively connect yellow to the field. And then the question is whether you'd meeple the road or not meeple it. Let's try meepling it first. If you're able to extend your road by anything, you win because of the second player rule in case of a tie. So all these cases, the road are wins for blue, but the Dorito is no use to you and you'd lose by 1 point. So it's a 66% chance as well. So nothing gained in comparison to Mars' actual move. So what about leaving the road empty like this? You could take the road with any road tile. So in case of getting straight or a crossroad, and would gain 5 points, which would lead to a tie and therefore a win again. And in the other cases, there is the 7-point ruin again. So this one is also 100% win for blue. But alas, due to time trouble, Mars didn't find one of these two winning moves and settled for a 66% chance, which didn't hit. Usually that ain't a problem because losing a game of Carcassonne is rather likely. It's more or less a 50-50 shot against a good opponent. But in this case, it must have hurt quite a lot because this duel was for a playoff ticket to this year's MSO Grand Prix, as it was the 7th game of Qualifier 1. But that's Carcassonne. Sometimes you see everything, sometimes you don't. Bye.